Touchdown, Alabama, let's get it.
The process, no one can stop this. Hottest show in the streets, I bet you can't top this. Rammer, jammer, yellow hammer, come see how we rock this. Alabama fans, the best, there's no way you can top this. Recruiting news and interviews, just sit back and watch this.
Recruiting news and interviews, just sit back and watch this.
The process.
Welcome into the process, Crimson Tide Recruiting. I am Justin Smith, the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Thank you guys so much for joining me today on the process as Alabama is gearing up for the Iron Bowl, which is one of the biggest rivalries in college football. Some major playoff implications are going to be on the line for the Tide on Saturday, so it should be a good matchup in between the Alabama Crimson Tide and Auburn Tigers on Saturday in Jordan-Hare Stadium. But as far as Alabama is concerned, on the recruiting trail, some interesting developments are starting to happen for Alabama in terms of the 2020 recruiting class, with the early signing period creeping closer and closer, which will run from December 18th through December 20th. So I wanted to take a look at one of Alabama's interesting developments in their 2020 recruiting class on this episode of The Process, as I will look into Alabama possibly adding on another defensive back in our 2020 recruiting class as they extended and offer the 2020 four-star defensive back and LSU commit Malcolm Greene over the weekend. They also hosted Runner Williams, a 2020 JUCO cornerback out of Hutchinson Community College. So Alabama is looking to add on another defensive back. So that's what I wanted to look at on this episode of The Process. But before I dive deeper into that, I wanted to take a look at some recruiting updates in terms of Alabama, as Alabama's four-star athlete commit Kristian Story broke the Alabama High School Athletic Association career total touchdown record on Friday night as he scored 6 touchdowns against Isabella High School, breaking that record and setting a new record for 166 touchdowns in a career. He also broke the Alabama High School Athletic Association career total yards record. So a huge congratulations goes out to Alabama's four-star athlete commit Kristian Story. Alabama also hosted their four-star defensive back commit Jacquez Robinson over the weekend for an official visit. I got a chance to catch up with Robinson after his visit. You guys can check out that article on touchdownalabama.com for free. I also caught up with another one of Alabama's defensive back targets in the 2021 recruiting class out of Florida, who Alabama offered recently and were able to get him on campus this past weekend. You guys can check out that article on touchdownalabama.com as well. But to get this particular show started, I'm going to hit you guys with those Alabama commits top plays from this past weekend. So with that being said, let's get the process started. I'm not going to dive into Alabama's commits top plays from this weekend, and this first play comes from Alabama's 5-star quarterback commit Bryce Young. This is one of the reasons that Bryce Young is such a special talent. On this particular play, he feels pressure coming from the outside, so he steps up in the pocket and he actually sees a lane where he can run the football and gets into open space and shows what he can do as he jukes one defender and also makes a smart play and gets out of bounds, not really trying to get hit, not really trying to combine and stack up that amount of damage that he takes with the ball in his hand. So I think that is a pretty smart move by Bryce Young on this particular play. This next play comes from Alabama's 4-star defensive back commit Brian Branch, who also had a record-breaking night on Friday night as he caught 3 interceptions, setting a Sandy Creek High School record for most career interceptions with 15. Branch was pretty productive in this game throughout, as he also scored 4 touchdowns total throughout the night, but this was just one of his scores as he got the ball as a wide receiver, showing that he has practiced that one-handed catch so much and he's so confident in doing it. He pulls one off again in the Sandy Creek's playoff win in the second round of the Georgia High School Athletic Association's playoffs. Kristian Story, Alabama's 4-star athlete commit, just keep doing work for Lynette High School on this particular play here. He sees pressure just as Young saw it in his game. Kristian Story sees that pressure coming from Isabella on this particular play, but he makes a lot of moves on defenders and gets into the open field, showing that he can tote the ball, showing he's experienced, showing that he's a calm player, just showing what he does and showing one of the reasons why he now holds the Alabama High School Athletic Association career record for total touchdowns. I wanted to take a look at the interesting development surrounding Alabama's defensive back class in the 2020 recruiting cycle, as they currently have 3 recruits verbally committed at the defensive back position in Malachi Moore, Chris Robinson, and Brian Branch. All 3 of those guys are locked in with Alabama. All 3 of those guys will sign with the Tide in December. Both Robinson and Malachi Moore will enroll into the University of Alabama in January. So Alabama already has 3 defensive back commits locked in, and they possibly have 4 with Kristian Story possibly lining up at the safety position at the next level, but the door is open for Story to play multiple positions. So Alabama possibly has 4 defensive backs committed, but they want to add on another guy, and they extended an offer the 2020 4-star defensive back commit Malcolm Greeny out of Virginia, who is currently verbally committed to LSU. As I said, something that is working in the favor with Alabama with Greeny is the fact that his commitment to LSU is relevantly new. He committed to LSU about a month back, so it's not a long commitment. So Alabama does have that working in their favor, but I'm pretty sure LSU had a strong connection with Greeny. I'm pretty sure their relationship is pretty strong for him to make his commitment to the Tigers. But Alabama is possibly going to throw everything they can to land Greeny and possibly make that late push, as they have offered him late in the signing period, which late in the recruiting process, which is something you rarely see, and when you do see it, you know that particular team is really going to push for that particular player. So I think Alabama is going to push for Malcolm Greeny. I don't know how successful they will be, but they have had a lot of success in the DMV area, and Greeny is a product of Virginia. So Alabama does also have that working in their favor. So look out for Alabama to try to get him on campus and try to push for him as much as possible going down the stretch here. I don't know how successful they will be, but as I said earlier, I think the biggest factor working in their favor for Greeny is the fact that his commitment to the LSU Tigers is relevantly new. So that is something to look out for. Another thing is to look out for is the fact that Alabama is recruiting 2020 JUCO cornerback out of Hudson College, who they hosted for an official visit this weekend, and Ronald Williams Jr. This is a guy whose recruitment took off in November and October, picking up offers from some of the top schools in the nation, including Tennessee, Ole Miss, Miami, Nebraska, some Oklahoma, just some of the top programs in the country. They were able to extend an offer to Ronald Williams going down the stretch in October and November, and I think it's pretty good for Alabama that they did get him on campus for an official visit. He has also taken official visits to Texas A&M and Kentucky. I think Alabama's really making a push for Ronald Williams. Also, this is a guy who's a JUCO cornerback, so he does have that college experience in some sort, and the fact that junior college football is a step up from high school football. It may not be at the level of Division I football, but it definitely is a step up from high school football. So when you look at Williams, he's a guy who possibly could come in and make that early impact based off the experience that he does have at the community college level. So that is something to look out for as well. But Alabama is really making a push for Ronald Williams to join that defensive back class. I think Alabama is in a good position with the fact they did get an official visit from him. He only has 5 official visits, and he did give Alabama one of those. And it was clutch that Alabama was able to get him on campus for that particular official visit on their last home game. So I think that's pretty good for Alabama as well. So those are some of the things I wanted to dive into. Alabama possibly landing another defensive back in that 2020 recruiting class. I know they were also looking at Nadab Joseph out of Independence Community College, a guy who they once had a verbal commitment from, but the word on him is the fact that he does have some academic issues. I think Alabama would love to have him, but you have to work out those academic issues, especially at the junior college level, which is something that held Joseph off from going to Georgia when he originally committed to them in the 2018 recruiting class. So that is something to look out for as well. Pay attention to Nadab Joseph's recruitment. So that's what I wanted to do on this episode of the process, bring that to you guys' attention to look out for as far as Alabama's defensive back 2020 recruiting class is concerned. That will do it for this edition of the process. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. As always, you guys can call into the process and leave your recruiting question via voicemail at 205-440-3968. Again, that's 205-440-3968. Call in, leave your recruiting voicemail. Your voice will be heard right here on the process, and I will answer your Alabama recruiting question. As always, download the Touchdown Alabama app. It is located on all app stores, so guys, make sure to download that particular app on the Apple App Store, in the Google Play Store. Download the Touchdown Alabama app. Pick up a subscription, touchdownalabama.com. As always, I am Justin Smith, the scouting recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama magazine.